the week, I dropped a big video about like the energies going on and what we're anticipating and coaching on all of that. And that took up a lot more time and space than I thought it was going to. Like, I feel like that is pretty important information to have at the front end of the month that we're just about ready to live through. And I did not have enough time and space to be able to talk about the art theme that I also wanted to talk about. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that here as its own separate video. And that basically is what I wanted to talk about was these two images. One is the rainbow tord that I created, which is available in print on my Shopify. And the other one is an original. It's the rainbow nautilus that I created, and that's an original. It's also available on Shopify. But what I really wanted to talk about here was, what is that spiral about that is always showing up in my work? And then ask you about what is the authentic line or the authentic shape in the art or doodling or color that you do. So let me walk you through a little bit of a story, and then we're going to land in something that I feel is like really, really important at like the heart of our art, okay? And that is like, rewind way back to last summer, July, and Spirit Team was all like, you got to do the art, you got to do the art. And so finally I'm like, okay, And do the art. And then I did the whole blue shade thing and burst into tears. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to do the art, right? And I start with the watercolor because that's what I'm drawn to. And there was a whole thing about the watercolor. And even though I was watching a lot of art videos, I was steering clear of watching instructional art videos. Like, I watched a few and then I tried a few, but like it made me feel really weird and I didn't like it. And I didn't want to stuff myself into like, the art zoot suit of technical, watercolor kind of thing. Like, me being Gen X and living through everything I've lived through, like, I was like, if I'm going to do this, I want to live through it authentically. And so I led with my art revolution with this thing of like, I want to paint what is in me, even if I don't have that many skills right now, or even if it doesn't look very good. And so when I would sit down at my art table, I would either be tuning into my core as like what's coming through me or out of me, like what is my inclination here, or I would be listening to my spirit team and taking cue from them. So it was kind of like toggling back and forth between what's going on in my inner world that wants to come out onto the page, or what is spirit team talking about here. And so that was my rhythm for a while. And what I noticed is because like I didn't know what I was doing and I didn't know how to do what I was doing. And I realized every time I sat down, I literally was teaching myself through experience of like, oh, that's what the water does. Oh, that's what the pigment does. Oh, that's what happens with color. Like every time I sat down, it was like, oh my God, well, look at that. Look at this. So it's like this whole self-teaching thing. And then I began to notice that what I was drawing was like this line with a bit of a curve in it. And if you look at my early art, and I'll show some pieces here, it's like line, curve, line, curve, line, curve. Like I didn't actually get to like a full on object. I was just doing line, a curve line. It was just like a zit, zit, zit. And I was in that space. And you know what? Every time I did one of those, like it felt good. Like it felt good to me. And so I was like playing with the water, playing with the color, and this curved shape line. And frankly, like I could have probably stayed there forever just doing that. And then I was like, I need to let this evolve a little bit more. There was a little bit of like, but let's put a little fire in this. Like we need to move this along a little bit. But like, frankly, I think I could have stayed there for quite some time. And I like by autumn, I was like, okay, we really got to, begin to form some things and shape some things, right? And so again, I tried doing some tutorials, and I can't listen to somebody else's tutorial without psychically and energetically reading them and having their energy stuff like interfere with my art process. I am so sensitive and weird that way. And now I understand a lot of reason I didn't get into art is because like I didn't want somebody else messing it up for me. And that's what instruction feels like for me, because like I'm picking up on way too much more than is in an instructional video, right? So I just kept cruising along, and then I noticed that my curves began to loop around a little bit, and they get a little longer. And the next thing I know, I'm doing some spirals. And then I'm doing spirals on both ends. And so like as I headed into the fall, I was doing more loopy spiral stuff. And I was like, oh. And then I couldn't get away from it. And then I was like, there was a part of me, I was like, I started beating up on myself a little bit of like, Dana, the loopy spiral stuff, the whimsy, that's all well and good. Like I started talking down to myself. That's all well and good, but we need to get a little bit more serious, right? And that's when I began to push through a little bit more into some more form. And I don't know who's with me, but if you remember the rooster from hell, like that was right around like, I don't know, November into solstice, like the rooster from hell, and then the buffed out, chicken rooster. Like that was me pushing a little, like I was pushing myself a little bit more to like, okay, we got to start doing a little bit form that is beyond the spiral. But I kept coming back to the spiral. And then lo and behold, over winter time, over that solstice into early winter time, I rediscovered sacred geometry and the crop circles. And as I rediscovered sacred geometry, I ran across a rendering of the toroid and somebody doing the spiral with the toroid. And I looked at that and it was almost like my heart stopped. I was like, oh, when I was doing that curve, I was just beginning to trace some of that spiral of the toroid. And then when I started doing the spirals, like on both ends, I was like, oh my God, I'm tracing the light field toroid of life. And that's when I was like, the spiral could not be more important for me to be drawing and painting. And that's when I gave myself full permission to return to the spiral a little bit more seriously and go like, no, this spiral is super important. Like, I got to stop talking down to myself. Like, yeah, sometimes it's whimsy and lovely and all of that. And sometimes like I'm doing some really amazing energy stuff here because like I'm tracing the toroid, which is the light field. And I like, oh my God, I didn't come on video camera and talk about all this, but for like, I got to tell you, like for at least a month or so, I was beside myself for quite some time, realizing that my authentic inner self, like I made that agreement of like, I want to put on the page what feels good to me. And what felt good to me from the very get-go was the line that was a curve. Like that's where I started. And then eventually that line with a curve turned into like some whimsical spirals. And then I couldn't stop doing it. And by the time I landed at that, oh my God, tracing the light field curve of the toroid, I mean, that just thundered through me. And that's when I realized me doing spirals in my art could not be more important and could not be more authentic. And so so now at this point, what I'm finding is, yes, I'm branching off and doing different things, but I'm always returning to the spiral in one way, shape, form, or another because it feels good. It feels, when I'm doing a spiral, it feels good and I'm getting better at it and it's amazing. And I'm exploring all different types of like how that spiral works. Like I'm really realizing exploring the spiral is going to take me years. And I'm totally fine with that because it feels good, feels amazing, and I know it's intrinsically connected up with the architecture of our light field. And so when I'm drawing those spirals, it feels good to me, but then when I'm showing them, I know that I'm affecting people in good ways, in rooted, fundamental good ways when they're looking at whatever those spirals are in my art. And so by the springtime, I finally arrived into a place of like really realizing I'm like, oh my God, there is such a thing. I do believe there is such a thing as your authentic line. Your authentic line and then your authentic shapes that come from that authentic line. And I think it happens in doodling. Like I'll show you one that, this is a Zentangle, and Spirit Team encouraged me to do this one, but like I found myself doodling this a long time ago. Look at this thing. Like it's kind of paper scrolls, right? But those are spirals into paper scrolls, right? So the other thing I want to mention is like either you know, you might doodle and not think you're an artist, or you're an artist and you doodle. But I believe doodling is probably one of the most intrinsically important things that we can do as an artist or as a creative or a spiritual creative, because like the doodling is our authentic line wanting to talk through us in that non-verbal space. So now as I come full circle, you know, and I've shown some art as I've been talking, this kind of thing. So the question I have for you, whether you're an artist or not, like if you're an artist, great. If you're a doodler, great. Or like if you're somebody who just kind of like is in and out of this, like, you know, wherever you're at in your path with this, the question that I have for you is like, are you aware of your authentic line? Because I want to hear about it. Like I've been going through this all by myself, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, what are other people's authentic lines? Like I want to hear, like, so what's your authentic line? And then is there like an authentic shape that has come from your authentic line? And then perhaps your authentic palette, like the colors that you just love. Like, you know, for me, my authentic palette is like magenta and bright teal and hints of yellow, and like I'm in heaven in that spot. And so like if I'm doing spiral magentas with teals and highlights of yellow, like that's my happy place. And so like I want to find out from you, what's your authentic line? What's your authentic shape? And then when it comes down to color, your authentic palette, like have you put all of those together? Because like when I do that for me, I'm like, I'm in my happy spot. I'm in my happy spot. And like, I want to find out, like, what's your happy spot? What's your happy spot? Right? Because like, I think what this comes down to is like what we might think is our whimsy and not to be taken seriously, I think is fundamentally wired into our DNA, and it could not be more important. It's like, to me, it goes back to that whole thing of like, I'm convinced at this point there is no such thing as garbage art. Because, you know, what speaks to one person doesn't to another, and vice versa, and different art speaks at different times. I'm really seeing that in how people choose and interact with my art. And some art activating and some of it not. I mean, there's this whole thing. But I also think it comes back to that whole thing of like, there is no such thing as garbage art, especially when we are answering to authentic line, authentic shape, authentic palette. I think all of these are just super, super important. So I've laid out all my cards. Like I'm sharing with you like a very vulnerable, valuable, super important part of my art journey that like I just can't keep it to myself anymore. And I want to hear, like, what are you doing? And I want to hear about it. Like, what are you doing with all this? And what's your response with all of this? And if you're not, go play and then come back. Like if you're like, oh my God, I don't even know, like go play and find out what your authentic stuff is, because then I want to hear about it. Also, at the end of this art video, I do want to let you know what's available as far as some of the art therapy stuff that I'm doing with people. So if you are an artist kind of like stuck with your own process, I am doing art channel readings with Spirit Team to help get people unstuck. I am doing that. I am also pendulum checking my own art prints for your own art therapy if you're interested in that. Or I am making custom art therapy, or I'm doing custom color channeling with Spirit Team. Like let's say you want color therapy and you're like, I don't know how to get my hands on that. And I would be coming to you going, okay, let's open up the space. I'm going to channel into a document. I'm going to talk with your Spirit Team, and they're going to walk us through what your custom color therapy is and your color practices to go with that. So those are the different areas of services that I am now providing with the art that I'm doing. And if you're interested in any of those, or you're like, oh my God, they all sound great, I can do a free consultation read for you, like talk with your Spirit Team and find out what's going on to get you connected with the right thing. All you got to do is email me, dana@somaticmoney.com, and I will get you set up with all of it. So that's what I've got for you for now. Thank you for being here. Make sure you keep walking forward to meet those miracles along the way. And I will see you in my next video.